How progressive will our Senate allow the Democrats who are in charge to be? Well, you already kind of have an idea based on the experience of last year, but less than even under the Obama administration. We have a very specific case of this. And this involves David Weil, who wanted to be the administrator of the Wage and Hour Division, had been nominated for that position, has already served in that exact position under the Barack Obama administration. But apparently it turned out to be just too progressive because the so-called moderates on the Democratic side killed his nomination. Senators Joe Manchin, Kyrsten Sinema, Mark Kelly all voted against confirming David Weil to serve as the administrator of the Wage and Hour Division. His nomination failed, 47-53 procedural vote. Obviously, none of the Republicans are going to allow him for reasons we're going to make clear. But now those Democrats have given us a situation where we can't even get someone who is acceptable under Obama. Now, why were they against him? Well, Weil was opposed by the US Chamber of Commerce, the International Franchise Association, Heritage Action for America, the National Taxpayers Union, the Wall Street Journal editorial page, and various others. This is back when he was serving in government under Obama. He advocated for stronger protections for temporary and gig workers in what he called the fissured workplace. His track record in the previous administration and more recently his criticism of Uber and other gig work giants earned him heated opposition, not only from Republicans and lobbyists and all of that, but also those centrists. And in fact, in particular, one of the things they had an issue with was he infuriated the restaurant industry with legal guidance that corporate entities such as McDonald's could be held accountable for labor violations at restaurants that are technically owned and operated by smaller companies known as franchisees. A tactic that would be designed to get them to exercise more oversight and responsibility for the franchisees. He wanted to protect people against things like wage theft and other abuses in the workplace. And thanks to, in this case, not only the Wonder Twins, Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema, but also Mark Kelly now, we're not gonna get him. We're gonna have to settle for someone that Uber and McDonald's are a little bit more comfortable with, Brett.
These are the ones that are super frustrating to me. I don't know, I've never had this thought before this discussion, but I probably should have by now. But like when it comes to unionizing Amazon and getting protections for gig workers domestically, like this is not an outsourcing issue. This is would not create outsourcing. That's probably why they're fighting so much about it. Because you need in a local distribution, basically a logistics company like Amazon and a logistics company like Uber and Lyft, like those folks have to deliver you or your packages from somewhere near your neighborhood to your home. Mm-hmm. And that's why, and they exist because they got around the old way of doing that. And it's all about getting away old ways of doing that and lowering their bottom line. But we have to put a bar below which that line can't sink. And we have leverage. And people on the left side of the aisle have no excuse to deny that to us. Mm-hmm. Especially if they're the people in Congress who are voted in there. Like, I don't see any reason that temporary gig workers shouldn't be protected because that is the future of a lot of employment.
Yeah.
At the same time that people like Amazon are looking for ways to bypass key parts of that technologically.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's on the other side, as you point out, it is going to be an increasing share in the future. And that is why they feel that the industry needs to be protected. And we're not gonna go into all the statements, but Joe Manchin, like he said that for many West Virginia employees and business owners, his statements were problematic. Yeah, Uber drivers in West Virginia were just bombarding Joe Manchin with calls about this. They were really bothered with the idea that someone was gonna be looking out for them. And apparently, by the way, there's reports that Sinema might have convinced the other two to vote in this way. So they're all bad, but she might be chief bad in this particular case.
Every time I hear a company complain about some kind of attempt to protect workers in this fashion, all I hear them do is admit they're not good at innovating. Mm-hmm. They're not smart enough. They're not good. They always say, "Oh, don't raise my taxes. Oh, don't do this. Don't do that." While I'm wildly successful and way richer than you.
Yeah,
I believe in them. And the same way they say, you need to work your way up and pull yourself up by your bootstraps as a laborer. Well, listen, capitalist, big honcho at a big company, you need to innovate better so that you can overcome, I'm sorry, but like trying to make it so people can put food on their tables for their families.
Exactly. Doesn't seem like a high bar.
For more political news, breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.